7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
So we are Team SUS. This is Nick. This is John. This is Rinka, and I'm Kelly. And we are Team SUS, which is short for sustainability. And it's also because we also want to get rid of the stigma that suspicious looking food or bad looking food doesn't always mean that they're bad food and it's not like edible. And so our tagline is also sustainable food waste at your service, which emphasizes that we are a service that provides convenient, affordable food to people with a good cause.
So the main goal for our startup is to provide a sustainable alternative to grocery shopping. Our primary audience would be college students or people of low income or people from low income communities and homeless people. Primarily to make affordable food more accessible for these groups. And we would also redirect donations from different organizations and charities and use that as well. And some KPIs to effectively measure our performance as we go. One would be to track the amount of traffic that our stores would experience, create a list of the amount of food that we're receiving to keep track of what's in stock, the amount of food being distributed between from charities and donations, and also keeping track of how our social media is doing. Another primary goal is to redevelop the process for dealing with food waste and to become more of a central store for the distribution of these surplus foods and excess food.
During the early stages of our project, we wanted to take a minute to analyze the market. So we wanted to take a look at different personas for the people of interest and look at what their actual needs are, what the tasks that these needs involve with, what we would take to fulfill these needs, and also some of the negative ends of it, like what are the time-consuming aspects of it. And we wanted to evaluate these things so that we get a better understanding of what the different personas are actually looking for in a product or service.
So this is just some pictures from our ideation phase, some basic sketches where we started to think about how we would move the food and what our physical store would look like as well. So the first one's a bit about the redistribution, kind of hard to see because I guess like the lighting, but yeah, we kind of just show where the food would go and kind of what every step, what kind of happens in each of those steps, collection of food waste from stores, and a user journey map for students and low-income individuals. So our startup primarily would be within the food industry. However, within the food industry, there's a lot of different aspects that are important in making a business within the food industry very successful. And so, for example, like retail and transportation would be really important because we would have to set up a store and also figure out a way to bring food from one place to another. But primarily, we're focusing on food waste management and community food services as our primary market. So this is some of the research that we did on the market, and so we saw that global food waste management has been increasing over the past about a decade or so, and some projections will continue to increase by 2025. In the top right, there's a graph about food insecurity, and it seems like in 2019 it was going down, but recently it's been going back up and a little uncertain. So that kind of motivated us to want to create something that could probably help reduce like the projections or and on the bottom right, a lot of millennials and people nowadays are really trying to buy from a more sustainable store, and so that's becoming more important to them.
And from some of our research, we wanted to look into how our services could potentially help this problem or help minimize the amount of food waste. So looking at the process of starting with growing the fruits, vegetables, and going through all the processes through processing and everything in grocery stores, it all trickles down all the way to the landfill. And with the increase in food waste, we want to help minimize this. So that's why we did this research to emphasize on like the actual importance of our service and what the actual need is. And we can see that through the charts in the previous stage where we see an increase in all the different factors when it comes to food waste.
Talking about the personas, we basically developed 3 personas for our service. The first one is like the college students who is like 18 to 21 years old. And the second one is low-income individual, which means also low-income communities who is 25 to 39 age. And for the charity representatives, their age range is basically from 41 to 55. So these 3 different personas basically cover most of the age ranges, and their income level and work status quite fit into our targeted customers. And why we think those 3 different personas will fit into our targeted customers is that first, for the first persona, the college student, our service would be obviously a convenient way for them to get the food they wanted, because our service is quite close to the campus, and the prices for our food in our service will be much lower than the food in dining halls and the food in the supermarket. So it will be more affordable for them to pay. For a low-income individual, we can provide them a stable way for them to get stable food supply. So obviously it is more convenient for them to get, so they don't have to spend plenty of time outside to find food, which saves their time. And for the charity representative, it is also convenient for them to get, because they can get more food supply for our services, for donations, which is also their works. Therefore, they could have a peace of mind, because they know they can get plenty of supply from our service, so they don't have to be worried about the lack of food for donations to people in need.
And based on these personas, we made lo-fi prototypes using Legos, and we also did digital sketches of what a store would look like. And moving on to hi-fi prototype, we actually transitioned to more of apps, because we're not able to physically make a store of sort, but we made a mobile app which is more for our product purchases, and we created a desktop model which is more informational, where consumers can learn more about our service, our partners, and more informational links about news about food insecurity or food waste, so it's also very informational. And then we tested our prototypes at the DIV event, and we received a lot of good feedback that our service idea is a good idea because it supports a lot of good services or good causes, such as food insecurity and food waste. And they said that our design was informational and simple, and we also received feedback on how we can improve our prototypes, which is adding cost and empathy to our workflow. And then this is our branding. This is our logo, and we did a cute package because it's cute, and that was explained before. And then we did a landing page. If you can click on the link.
This one?
The top.
Yeah, top back. Thank you.
And first we would see introductory blurb and our branding and direct links right to our prototypes. And then our second section would include more informational blurbs so consumers can be more informed about what our service is. And then we have our demo video inserted there as well to go back and see how our prototype works and why it's important. And we also created testimonials to add credibility to our site. And then we have a contact page to connect with our consumers. And then can you exit out there and go back to the flow? And can you click on the visitor analytics app?
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
We will.
Go back.
Can you go back on the slide?
Just at the left there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we also have a visitor analytics app which tracks traffic and Because it's not my laptop. You can't
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. No worries.
But that's okay. I can just
Okay.
explain it. But it's an analytics app that tracks footprint and other statistics about who visits your page. And then you can click on the disclaimer video.
Sure.
Thank you.
We all have to cook, and we also have to clean up after ourselves. But have you ever thought about how much food waste you're creating, for your family, or even for your city? Food waste is a large problem. Residential, restaurants, grocery stores create a large volume of food waste. That's what we're here for. We are sustainable food waste at your service. What we do is we work with grocery stores and restaurants, collect their food waste, and filter it for them. Any donatable food is sent to charities of their choice. Along with this, it is used to stock our personal stores for students and low-income individuals if they want to shop at a discounted rate. Food waste is a large problem, and we are not the solution to it. But we can help out by minimizing the amount of food waste there is. Follow us on social media and check out our website if you want more information about our services or if you want to be involved in our efforts to minimize food waste. We all have to cook, and we also have to clean up after ourselves. But
Okay.
Thank you.
We also build like 3 social media profiles on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook in order for customers to know more about us and also a way for them to contact us. And also we build email marketing for 3 different personas, and each email for a different persona will emphasize how we can help them. So for the college students, we emphasize that our service is close to campus, and also the food in our service will be prices much lower than the food in dining houses, supermarkets. And for the second personas, the low-income individual, we will mostly emphasize how we can give the stable food supply, and also our service will build close to their communities, so they don't need to spend plenty of time to find it. And for the third personas, is for we will definitely emphasize how we can help them to give them a stable food supply for donations.
Similar to the email marketing, the digital advertising is also specialized towards different groups of people. So the first one would be college students. Second one is more towards the families and communities, and the third one is specifically towards charities.
We took the time to map out some of the events and things we would have to worry about for the month of December. And so as you see right here, it's really small, but you can see that we are doing, sending out our emails on specific dates, making social media posts to stay active for our users and followers, and then also advertising on different platforms from Google to Facebook to Instagram. And we're consistently advertising, and we set up this plan so that we could track the results over the month of December, and then from reviewing the results of the month of December, we could make a plan of attack for the rest of for the next coming year. And as a review, as we're approaching launch, we wanted to think about our different personas, and we wanted to think about how we could draw the curiosity and get them more interested in our product. So we had to figure out ways to isolate our advertisements to specific ones and know what platforms to prioritize towards certain personas over others. And overall for the launch, so for low-income individuals and students, a huge attention grabber for them is saving money. As life is really expensive, everything's going up. So we want to give them an idea that they can save money through getting discounted foods. And that's how we gave our appeal to them. And for charity representatives, we created advertisements for them, and what they judge us on is based on the level of impact we will have with our communities and how we operate our logistics when it comes to distribution of food and if we're efficient enough for them. And then, so overall for the results, going through everything we've done, we observed, analyzed our personas, looked at what their needs are, how to fill those needs, go into ideating. So the process, so in terms of getting the food waste from the restaurant and grocery stores to our distribution centers to filter and collect and filter our food waste, and then also distributing them to charities and our personal stores. So mapping that out. And then along with that, so we have collaborate, need for our service competition. So we're looking at our competition, seeing what makes us different compared to our competition, and what will kind of put us a step ahead over others by being innovative in our processes. Then we look at prototyping, how we could give a platform that's helpful for different youth, different personas, and then also the launch. So during the launch, what we learned is that we created several advertisements and ways to appeal to our different personas. And through this, we're able to get a better judgment on like where we should allocate our resources depending on what persona, the volume of it, and how often. And that's it for our presentation.
Good job, guys. I gotta say, overall, you put together a real interesting program. The thing that I liked was how you're really targeting those messages for those different audiences. Because I agree with you. If they see something that resonates with them, they see it, and if it doesn't, they look right past it. So I thought you did a good job of putting that together. I do like your branding, and I like how your messaging is. I think you're hitting on those good points that will help bring people in. And overall, I think you put together a real good presentation. Guys, have anything?
I love your logo. I don't know which one of you made it, but just I don't even know specifically what about it, but I think it's doing its job really well. And I wouldn't say I was concerned with your project specifically, but yours was the only project that was like more serious, I guess. So like when you're doing like the video and stuff, I feel like your avenue of being like the serious and not, you can't just like hype up your product type of thing. So you have to go take it at a different angle. So I was concerned about it, but I think you pulled it off really well. Great job, guys.
Yeah. Akshay, everything?
I just felt that the way you positioned your service, it just came out right, because not only did you do justice to the fact that it's a service, but you almost positioned it like a product in terms of branding. And I think that's a really good balance.
True.
Yeah. So again, good presentation, guys. Congratulations.
Super good.